when designing a container garden, of course, is to choose your plants. So one thing you want to think about in terms of design is picking plants that have different shapes, textures, and colors. So I've chosen a couple of different house plants here that have different types of irrigation. We have something that's vertical, something that's trailing, so that this container is going to have some interest to it. So once we've thought about some of those design features of the particular plants, we're going to think about how that design will work with our container. In terms of proportion, you want your plants to be about a similar height as the container. So 1-to-1 proportion is kind of what we're looking for here. And we refer to those plants in a container as thrillers, fillers, and spillers. This is an easy way to remember it. So a thriller plant is something that's going to add height to our container. So in this case, I'm going to use this Dracaena to add some height to my container. It could be grasses, it could be taller annuals, perennials. This is what's going to kind of balance out our container. It's going to add a similar, again, 1-to-1 proportion to our container, so it doesn't look top heavy, it doesn't look too short, it looks nice and balanced. A filler plant then is something that's going to fill out the middle or the center of the container. So here we're choosing a plant that's not quite as tall as our thriller, something that's maybe a little bit lower growing and that's going to bush out and fill that container. So this Aglaonema here is going to add still some height and a little bit of bushiness to that container. And then my spillers that I'm going to add in are also going to help fill out that center as well. A spiller plant is a plant that's going to then, of course, spill over the edge of the container. So it's, again, going to balance out the container so that the container doesn't show up too prominently. It helps kind of add some of that depth to it. So in this case, an ivy will help me get that trailing look, as well as this devil's ivy. So again, this is kind of a house plant container garden that I'm creating, but this could be done with annuals, perennials, evergreens. It could be a lot of different materials that we're going to put in.